Welcome guys, back to another video. I know I look like Robocop. This was a gift from Dan. So a few updates. Our IQ, my girlfriend was driving it and it snapped the drive belt on the way here. So she was scared. The battery management light came on. She managed to drive it here. I picked up the drive belts because there are two sizes. Don't know which one is the correct, so I picked both from Eurocar parts. Going to swap it for her. And have a look at this one. It came today, not the car, but the ramp. And we have two of them. So now let me talk about this one. It is a Mazda 6. You may have seen that on the channel previously. And it came a few days ago on a tow truck because it's not starting. I lifted it, then lifted it. Because to be honest, this is my first time ever. I'm working on a 2-post lift. I never worked on it. Dan has experience with it, obviously, because he worked for a Volkswagen dealership. So back to the car. It came on a tow truck. He lifted it up and turned the engine over. It was turning over, so that's fine at least. We suspected the timing chain snap. That's what the case. So I'll switch the camera and talk a little bit about it. So here it is. Sorry for the lighting. The lighting setup is not the best at the moment. So the oil pan is off and the timing chain is not there because it is stuck on the car there. Hopefully you can see it, and this one was already removed because the sealant is not from the factory and it wasn't me who removed it. I didn't do the oil strainer on this car, but it was done before me, or I don't know what was done actually, but something was done to it because the oil pan was removed. Let's have a look at the strainer. It is blocked, but not that heavily. I'm not sure how much you can see. It is a tiny bit blocked, not too heavily. So now I'm going to drop the oil pump to see if the rod bearings are not damaged. But anyways, we're going to change the rod bearings and the timing chain on this car, and hopefully this will be good. Obviously, we're going to double check everything, that it is working properly. The driver is going to be replaced on that one today. And here is the other one, a CX-5. This one has oil pressure problems too. So Dan is just making a space for himself, and he's going to lift it up afterwards. Obviously remove the top, so the valve cover, the intake parts, because it will have the carbon cleaning as well. Cleaning the cylinder head, very likely. It's a 12 plate, so very likely the camshaft will be worn. If it is, we'll be going to replace that. We suspect or expect the cylinder head to be heavily dirty by oil sludge. That's why it has the low oil pressure. So we're going to rectify those issues. Exhaust pressure sensor too, because we are going to replace the exhaust pressure sensor because it has fault codes for that. The owner is happy with the car and he didn't spend a lot of money till now because he didn't need anything. He was happy with the car now because I would say the lack of maintenance, it happened everything all of a sudden at once. So what it's going to get: new camshaft, very likely, carbon cleaning, timing chain, oil strainer, exhaust pressure sensor, and we'll check if it needs anything more. I think it needs a new drive belt. Here comes Dan. So happy because of the ramps. Now don't get me wrong, I'm happy too. So yeah, new drive belt. I'm not sure about the coolant. Maybe the coolant will be replaced too if it's the bad color or the bad or not the correct specifications. So yeah, I'm going to remove the oil pump on that one, and in the meanwhile Dan is going to disassemble this one, and we'll get back to you later once once we're done for today and what we found out on this one. So now is the next day. Yesterday what we managed to do, I managed to take off the oil pump and inspect the bearings on the Mazda 6, the rod bearings, which I'll show you. We managed to fit that new drive belt for my girlfriend's IQ, but it took us quite long. We were digging around like a long time. to figure out how to undo the, or like remove the tension. And in the meanwhile, we damaged the one tensioner for the AC belt. So I need to get a new one and then fit the drive belt for the AC and the tensioner for the AC. The other one, the big belt, is on, which is driven by the alternator and the water pump. So that is fixed at the moment. I'm still tired. I went home yesterday. Hang on. So sorry, I got interrupted by the guys next door. So I was saying, like, I got home before midnight. I went straight to the bed because I was tired. Then I had his dinner. He bought a kebab and then he went to bed. And he was here today early. He was here by 9 o'clock. I came after 12. Yeah, so let me show you the messed up timing chain, the drive belt tensioner from that Toyota IQ. I need to get a new of this one. Yeah, and now let me switch the camera and show you the bearings of these Mazda 6, and then I'm going to show you the CX-5, how that looks like and what needs to be done on that one. So here are the bearings, number 2, number 3. They are pitted a tiny bit, if you can see here, but I can't really feel it with my hand, so it's still okay. I mean, obviously we're going to replace the bearings. What I'm saying is that very likely the crankshaft didn't get damaged. Let me try to show you that as well. So you may see a little bit of scoring marks, but you can't really feel it with your nail, so it is still fine. And on that one, I can show you from the bottom of the engine. So definitely needs an oil strainer replacement, and that's why it came for it in the first place, because the pressure was too low, the oil pressure. And as you can see, it is very, very blocked. So no wonder or no surprise it had low oil pressure. And once then is going to lower the car. I'm going to show you from the top. We are quite happy we've got the lifts or ramps now. It will make our life so much easier, we believe, or we hope so, at least. It's in open. So now let me show you from the top. So here it is from the carbon build-up side. I mean, it's fairly there. It's fairly blocked. And here it is from the top. Injector number 1 was blowing out big time, and like the whole cylinder head is quite dirty, and the camshaft is worn also. I don't know where you can see that, but yeah, you can see it on that lobe. Well, obviously once we remove the camshaft you will be able to see it a lot more, or like a better. But yeah, it's going to get the camshaft replaced, the cylinder head cleaned, carbon cleaning, exhaust pressure sensor pipe cleaned or unblocked, oil strainer replaced, and very likely the timing chain as well. First I need to get back to the owner what we found, and then he will decide obviously what jobs will be done exactly or carried out exactly. And yeah, now let me show you the rest of the garage or rest of the workshop. So we've got 2 ramps, and we built an office for you guys as well, so I'm going to show you that. Obviously everything is, I would say, temporary at the moment, because we want to do flooring, a nicer desk. On weekend we're going to have a kitchen installed here, We got a bathroom as well. Still need to be finished. A shower unit still need to be finished. Flooring. Yeah, so I would say that's our office. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about it. So we think it's actually quite nice achievement what we've done here in, I would say 3-4 months. We are growing quite fast, and we are only 2 of us, so that's why sometimes we can't handle all the bookings. Sometimes we need to cancel, sometimes we need to postpone, but we try to do our best to get these cars back on the road, fix them as our standards, and which we can say they are quite high. Hope you agree as well. So yeah, I'm going to do the timing chain on the Mazda 6, and in the meanwhile I'll need to contact the client of the CX-5, and once he agrees on the jobs, then we'll do that, and we will record or include clips, footages, what we've done so far and how the things turned out. And then also told me to show you the parts washer section as well. So here they are, the ultrasonic cleaning bath. Here he used to wash the things, and this one we just bought recently. It's nothing too fancy. We want to get a different one, a bigger one, a better one, a more expensive one, but you know, everything needs money and time, so bit by bit I would say. And me personally, I want to get a bigger compressor, a better one, because I've got a dry ice machine, a dry ice blaster, which I couldn't use at the minute. I've tried it with this one, but it can't handle the air delivery which the dry ice blasting machine requires. So yeah, I can say like it's pretty mess in the workshop now, but we still need to like organize everything, get the flooring done here. But as I said, everything needs time, money, and in the meanwhile the cars has to be finished, like the work has to be carried out, so it's not so easy. So I have removed the valve cover and the ECU, and I just wanted to show you that the cylinder head can look clean. As you can see, I've done it maybe around half a year ago, so 6 months ago. And the reason I wanted to show you, because you remember the car, the CX-5 from the channel, the red CX-5, who was charged a lot of money, and yet his cylinder head was so blocked again with carbon and oil sludge. So, and it happened him in a year time. So let me remove the oil shower, and the camshaft is new there. I replaced the camshaft, and as you can see, everything looks clean. Now I'm going to further remove the parts, so the camshaft, journals, tappets, rocker arms, and then the valve timing cover, engine mount, and replace the timing chain, which I'll show you in a bit how that looks like. So I have removed the timing cover, and as you can see, the chain has snapped, it's in pieces. It damaged the guide and the tensioner. There is other part of the chain, and one bolt, which is the guide holding bolt, has sheared off. Let me show you which one is that. So it is this one, the top bolt. As you can see, the tensioner is fully damaged, it's out, broken. That's out, like the tensioner for the big main chain is out, but the main chain is still okay, I would say. Obviously it's going to be changed. So now I'm going to remove the parts, components. That bolt has to be drilled out, and the rest just replaced, and then is on par with me. So let me show you his process. He has removed the timing cover too, and yeah, so I already spoke to the owner, and he agreed on all of the jobs which I mentioned to him. As you can see, it is very dirty, very black. That will be cleaned. New timing chain, new guides, new sprockets. I'll show you once it is done and on the car how clean that will be after we do the job. So yeah, that's the current situation or the process where we are at the moment. Dan's just asked if it is normal that he could pull off that guide or that plastic rail from the guide. I said, no, that's definitely not normal. So this one, I would say, wasn't too far from failure either. So the main problem what causing them to fail or even the chain to snap is the lubrication, because the tensioner, this one and the top one, yeah, that one, works on oil pressure. And if the oil is dirty and there are bits in the oil system, which there were because obviously, or there is lack of lubrication because of the blocked strainer, it can make the tensioner not work as it should. So it can have a slack and then it can jump a teeth or it can snap. So that's what leads to timing chain failures on these Skyactiv 2.2 diesels.